Yes, we can. Sure, we can change the world.
Greetings, young African leaders. This is the Yali Voices podcast, your home for sharing the best stories from the Young African Leaders Initiative Network. I'm Rebecca Ojedele, a 2017 Mandela Washington Fellow from Lagos, Nigeria, attending my Civic Leadership Institute at the Presidential Precinct in Virginia. I'm happy to have you here with me. I'm joined by another wonderful Mandela Washington Fellow, Nima Kwaga from Tanzania. And today we'll be discussing Nima's work in youth empowerment. Nima is the founder of Ladder Tanzania, where she currently serves as a leadership coach and trainer. Leadership Ladder is dedicated to improving individuals and organizations to grow and flourish as leaders. Neema is responsible for designing leadership development programs as well as leading, coaching, and training sessions. Before we get started with our podcast, don't forget to subscribe to the Yali Voices podcast on iTunes and Google Play. And visit yali.state.gov to stay up to date on all things Yali. So, Nima, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Rebecca.
So happy to have you here because you're the expert on youth empowerment issues.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. I feel so honored to be here.
That's great.
And happy to participate. Thank you very much.
I know that you worked as a HIV coordinator for 9 years in Tanzania before you decided to quit your job and start your organization called Leadership Ladder Tanzania, right?
Yes.
So what motivated you to do that?
I'll say that, first of all, being part of the HIV and AIDS program, I have an opportunity to work with young people. And part of my job was to do training to young people in secondary school and also in higher learning institution. That job of HIV and AIDS coordinator gave me an opportunity to travel into different parts of the country as well as in Africa. So wherever I go, whether in Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, you just name it, I just experienced here that on top of HIV problem, I saw young people who are facing many other problems: unemployment, extreme poverty, social injustice, and so many other more. And I think in my head, I was thinking, as a young person, how can I help young people in their problem that they are facing? And that, in line, it has motivated me to start something that can empower young people to become solution for their own problem. The vision of Leadership Ladder comes in as a part of empowering young generation of leaders, the leaders who will be part of the process in making change that we want to see.
That sounds so great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sounds so wonderful. But what kind of empowerment programs specifically do you do?
What we are doing, I'm a professional coach, and right after leaving my job, I had to go to learn coaching, how to coach, because I know what I needed to do is to provide a solution, a permanent change that will occur from within. What I did, we are doing a coaching program, one-on-one coaching or a group coaching, but on top of that, we're also doing training. For Leadership Ladder, our training, we do it in a form of a mastermind group where we got an opportunity to equip young people in a group. Normally, we have 10 people in one group with a similar characteristics, not male, all of them. Most of them will be maybe fresh graduates, or maybe they have just finished from their high school. So we group them together, men and women, and then we empower them with the leadership training. But on top of that, we encourage them to meet on a weekly basis so that they can discuss different issues, peer-to-peer learning. We feel that is the best way on how young people can engage, share their experience, and learn from each other. We are doing training, coaching, and on top of that, if they come with an idea, for example, some of them, they want to be entrepreneur. What we do, we find a mentor, a person who is doing similar thing that they're interested, and then we ask them to give them kind of help, a mentorship program for as long as they can sustain. That's what we are doing. Yeah.
I'd like you to talk more about the mastermind groups. It's a nice concept, and even here at the precinct, we're also experimenting with mastermind groups. But you have been doing this for how long? For how many years?
Almost for a year now.
Almost for a year. I want you to talk more about the mastermind groups. So from what you just said, you have a group of about 10 young people who share similar characteristics. So they may all be high school graduates, or they may all be
fresh graduates, college graduates. Yeah.
How does that work? When they meet, what happens? How often do they meet? What exactly do they do? I know you said you sometimes assign them mentors, but what's the structure? What exactly happens with those mastermind groups? When they meet, what is the goal and what do they do to achieve the goal?
Okay, so mastermind group, what we normally do is I say that we group young people based on their interests, what they need. We have other people, for example, some of them, they've just finished their university, but they don't have a job. And so we group them together, a group of 10. So what we normally do, we have a 5-week program, and we have a specific set of theme that we want to discuss. Before I go on, let me just explain how do I come out with this mastermind group. I am a member of a John Maxwell Global Leadership Team, and in that membership, it gives me an access to get material and books and resources about leadership. What we do in our mastermind group, we have a specific set of information. For example, we can decide maybe we have to go through a certain book. Like I'm using John Maxwell book because I'm entitled to use it. For example, we have a 15 invaluable law of growth. So we go through that book chapter to chapter, and within those 5 weeks with young people. So what we normally do, when we just met, we first want to know your name, just briefly introduction, where you come from and things like that. But again, you want to know your vision, your goals, what do you want to do. And so as we are dealing with a chapter to chapter in a specific book, we align on each other. Where do you want to go? How do you use this information? So the whole idea of this is to empower each other, but again, to unleash that potential, because you feel like you can do something, but also to tell them that they can do it because they see each other, they can do that thing. At the end of the mastermind, then we have a quick review, we discuss, and then if you have any challenge, you share. If you have any experience, what went well, what didn't went well, what steps are you going to do? Because we need to have your goals. This is my goal. I want to be this. This is where I'm stuck, and this is where I want to go. We encourage each other, but we support each other. So we use that book as a resource to equip them. We have a 15 invaluable laws of growth. We have 21 laws of leadership. We have so many books that we can choose or a specific topic depending on the needs. Maybe, for example, if you are fresh graduates and you are unemployed and you don't know what to do, we bring some expert on issue of entrepreneurship to support the young people. How can you become an entrepreneur? But then we have to know your goal. Where do you want to go? What you are stuck. So it's a theme that we have, and we go through it.
So each group meets for 5 weeks. They brainstorm on how to come up with solutions.
Yeah, we meet a 5 week. That's the minimum we can have, in a minimum of 5 to 10 weeks, but we meet once per week. And then when you finish a particular book of a mastermind that maybe you have gone through a mastermind group on 21 laws of leadership. So maybe you want to become a leader, or you have gone a mastermind group on a course on entrepreneurship. So we have a specific course based on each group have its own need. And so when you finish that mastermind group can continue, because then themselves they can also meet on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. They engage each other, and nowadays we have a WhatsApp, so they can chat on WhatsApp. They can ask each other resources. It's kind of a community where you feel like you belong based on your needs, so that we don't want young people to feel that they are alone. I don't have job, or I don't have this. It's just you can collaborate with each other and you can share ideas.
Do people have to pay to join, or is it...
They don't have to pay.
So how do you get funding?
That's a good question that you are asking. Yeah, what we are doing, Leadership Ladder is a social enterprises.
Yeah, so what's the business part of it?
So the business part of it, what we do, apart from doing a mastermind group, we are also selling our programs. We are selling our coaching program. I tell you that we have getting these resources from the number one, I could say, leadership guru, John Maxwell, who is very good, very resourced. And so we sell this program to other organizations. We sell this program to individuals. For example, we do one-to-one coaching to people who can pay. Also, we sell our training program to organization, to individual, depending to private organization. And so we use the part of this money to support our youth mission. And what we do on a monthly basis, we recruit at least one mastermind group. So by the end of the year, 10 people per month, because of the limitation of resources, so that we can have few, but then we do them well. So those 10 people, they go through 5 weeks. Then at the end of the 5 weeks, then we group another mastermind group. So for example, since we started up to now, we have been able to reach 100 of them because we have 10. So we keep on, adding
Do you have
that.
any success story to share? Any impact that this mastermind group or any of your other activities or programs have had on young people?
Yeah, I think I have so many things to share because when you're in such a group, we have so many good stories. And the best thing of being part of the mastermind group is that you can monitor before and after so you can see the change clearly. I may say, for example, what has been a very good thing for being part of this process of empowering young people is for fresh graduates, particularly female. I have a group of 7 females who have graduated from IFM.
What's IFM?
IFM is Institute of Financial Management.
Oh, after going through your program?
No. I met them after they have graduated. So what has happened is that after they have graduated, they came from the rural areas. And so they could not be able to go back home because they were expected to bring something back to their family. And they don't have a job. They have to stay in town. So what they do, they just rent a space and they stay themselves when they don't have job. So when I tell them that I have mastermind and this is what we are doing, they are interested. Say, yeah, we are just home. We just write letters. We don't know what to do. It's good. We could be happy to participate. And so they join in the group. So when they join in the group, out of those, there are 7, but I would like to talk on one of them. One of them is called Mary. And when Mary came, she said that I cannot go home because I'm supposed to be here. They send me to school and now I'm supposed to have money to support my family, my other family members at home. But what can I do? She started the mastermind group. She went on the 21 laws of leadership and then the mastermind group has been progressing. But now as we speak, Mary, she has been able to start her own business.
So she's no longer looking
She's
for
no
work.
longer
She's
looking.
creating
She's created
jobs.
job. What she does, she do a retail shop that she sells some cosmetics for women. She's been interested in being an entrepreneur. And so she started it very humbly, just by buying those things and selling it to individuals. But now she has been able to secure her own space where she's able to sell those products. And for me, I see this is very good because through that, she has been able also to secure a part-time job. And then she has been able to bring one of her young sisters who has finished school in their home to stay in that shop while she's waiting for that to go on. And she's also working. So you could find like a person like Mary who was staying at home, doing nothing, waiting for the job, but she has now been able to do something for herself. I see for me that is an encouraging. It is a very good thing because it makes me feeling like that's a good thing because those girls who are staying in a house, 7 of them, they can be very vulnerable to any situation. Yeah. They can accept anything in the name of man, but
desperation.
Yeah, desperation. So I'm happy that they pass through our mastermind
Thank you
group.
so much for sharing that because I'm sure that will encourage a lot of people listening right now. So you believe that youths are the leaders of tomorrow. Yeah. I've heard you say that so many times.
Yeah, it's true.
So I want to ask you, how do you think youths can shape the future? What kind of skills do they need? How can they shape the future? And what kind of skills do they need to do so?
I believe that youth are the future of today as well as tomorrow because we are here. We cannot wait for tomorrow. So we have to lead on wherever we are. I believe that everything rises and falls in leadership. It takes a leader to make change. Why I'm saying this, leadership does not about leading other people. It's about leading yourself. You have to know who you are, where you want to go, and where is your vision. Like I'm telling you, most of the youth that are coming in our mastermind, that's the basic thing. It's the basic thing that they need to know. Why am I here for? What is my purpose? What am I good at? What can I do? If you know yourself, if you have been able to lead yourself, it's very easy. You can as well be able to lead others. So that's the number one thing I want all of you.
Leadership
skills to be able to understand who you are. And what are you doing, what you are doing.
So that's also like linked to self-awareness.
Yes, linking to self-awareness. I think that's a very good character. Every young person need to have it, an exposure of knowing who you are. But again, we need kind of leaders who can be in a position, regardless of maybe you have been gone to a university, you have an IT degree, whatever you have it, but it takes also to take a lead on how to engage yourself in a workspace, in a community. So how can you engage people? How can you understand people? Because leadership, you need to have a people skills.
So people building relationships.
Good relationship with each other. So I think all the things young people need to know, apart from formal education that they get, they need this transformational program that can equip them. Like here, we are in this program of Yali. What we are doing is a transformational program. We learn how to network. We learn how to engage each other. We learn the power of diversity. We learn tolerance. And all these things are very important for a young person to know if they want to become a leaders of today and tomorrow. That's what I believe.
That's great. So I've heard you say leadership skills, the need for self-awareness,
Yes.
in fact, comprehensive sexuality education.
Yes,
really.
yes. Understanding their body, understanding themselves.
Yes.
And that's a very key thing. And sometimes we assume people know, but I tell you, most of them, even those who think that they have gone higher level, these basic things, they don't know. And that's the barrier for them. So if we empower them, giving this information, skills, inspiration is the very own thing that young people need to hear. And with the minimum information that we can provide, or the better information that we can give, it frees them. And you can be amazed, like, if this thing that can make a person move from one step to another, it's a skills. People need inspiration. Yeah, you can do this, you are good at this. It keeps them going.
Yes.
Because all the information that they hear is a negative most of the time.
So they need to hear positive stories.
They need to hear positive stories. They need to also look and see the role models. People who have been doing these things and they are successful. And I think that's the best thing the young people can have.
That's great. What's next for you? Where do you think your organization will be in a few years' time? What are the next steps you want to take?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I'll say that for me, what is next is to keep on doing what I'm doing in a bigger picture. I am telling you now that what we are doing, we have been able to reach, let's say we recruit to 10 people per month. It's very minimal, but it's something that I want to do more, to reach more, to support more, to empower more. And I'm saying this with a lot of confidence because for more than 9 years, I've been working with young people, rural areas and urban area, and I know what it takes to be a young person with the minimum information and the resources. It gives me a thirst to feel like how best I can support. So my vision is to keep on supporting young people, creating more mastermind group, supporting people, especially young people, with the one-to-one coaching program, but also finding a means on how I can get the best mentor to support these young people.
Are your mentors right now volunteers? Or
my mentors just volunteer. And I'm actually going, if I see someone that's very good in an entrepreneur, specifically a woman or a man, and then I'm going to approach her, please, can you support to mentor these people? And we have a lot of people who have got these resources. And we have young people who want to hear from them. So it's an opportunity to shape the program, to expand the program, to support young people.
So we've been in this Mandela Washington Fellowship program for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So are there any skills or any key lessons you've learned that is going to help you achieve your dream of more?
Yeah, I'll say a lot. It's a very good program, and if it's my wish that for every young person to pass through this, it's a transformational program, if I'll say. We have learned so much things, which is very important on my career, because part of me, I'm a trainer and a coach, so I cannot give people what I do not have. So I need to be really good. But on my personal level, the key 3 things that keep on clicking in my head out of this program is about the power of diversity. We are all unique, but different. And that for me is one. But then also about tolerance. Being part of Mandela Washington Fellow, it has taught me how to tolerate each other, seeing people from different nations staying together, receiving a lot of people coming and talking with each other. The way things have been done here is about tolerance. And another thing is about empathy. That I think those 3 things, diversity, the power of diversity, tolerance, and empathy. If I'll keep all those 3 things, they'll take me a bigger step ahead.
What does empathy look like for you? Can you paint a picture of empathy?
I think for me, empathy is about not only understanding the situation of somebody, but also doing something to support, regardless of how minimum you can be.
So for you, empathy is action.
It's action.
It's not just feeling.
No, it's not about
sorry.
feeling, because I've been there. I am very happy for your first question. You asked me why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have experienced this thing. I have seen people are suffering. I have seen young people struggling. And then it's not enough to say that sorry, or you just try to work on the symptoms. Maybe you provide them with clothes, you provide them with food or shoe. That's not it. It's you just touching the symptoms part of it. I want to be part of the solution, building a permanent change, working from the inside, helping them to become aware of who they are. they are capable. They have what it takes. What they need is someone to push them. And that's why I even call my organization Leadership Ladder. It's a ladder of success. To climb. So we all have this. And I am not underestimating myself, saying that I do not have everything. I do not have resources. I know I will start wherever I am. And I think that is empathy. Seeing a problem, you don't wait for anybody. It is me. Who will do it if it's not me?
Walking in other people's shoes.
Walking in other people's shoes,
someone said, I think this is someone from Johns Hopkins University, I think Benjamin Lozari. He said, okay, so there's a common saying about being able to walk in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
He says to walk in other people's shoes, you have to remove your own shoes first.
Yes.
So that means you have to even put aside all your own prejudices and all your biases, so you have a better understanding of what the situation is. Then you can do something about it.
Yes, sure.
But if you come with your own biases, you'll be operating based on your own prejudices and stereotypes without even knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Thank you.
So you're part of the Yali network, definitely. Being a Mandela Washington fellow, you're automatically a member.
Yes.
So how have you been interacting with the network, with the Yali network?
Yeah, first of all, I've been interacting because we get a lot of information through Yali network.
The resources. Tell me, how have you been using them? What resources and how have you been using them?
Some of the resources that I've been using, I'll say it's a course. Yeah, I have done some leadership course on it. And they have a very, very good first-class courses. And always I want to empower myself.
Those courses are great.
Yeah, those courses are great. If you are a young person, you want to learn, you want to grow. And another thing, that's an opportunity. But another thing, working with young people, another thing that we give is opportunity. This is an opportunity. They don't know. But I'm here. I'm an ambassador. So what I do, I tell them in their mastermind groups that you can as well visit this. You can log in. You can be part of the Yali network. It's very free.
The courses are free?
The courses are free, but they are so good. But not only good, they are also relevant. So that is a platform I use because I'm part of Yali network. I'm sharing with the other young people as an opportunity for them to learn, grow, and become more in whatever they want to do.
So that means, are you part of the Yali Learns?
Yeah, I'm the part of
you
Yali
take
Learns.
those resources, those courses, and then you step it down, to your mastermind groups.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Is there any other way? Or how do you want to continue using the Yali network, after now? Yeah,
after now, I'll keep on doing some courses because I tell you, I keep on.
You've not finished.
Yeah, no, I'll keep on doing some more courses. I have not finished, but I'll keep on finishing the course. But then I want to open room for young people to be an advocate for this because it's a very good thing. And as I tell you, most of the time we underestimate the power of information because I think that everybody knows, but not everyone knows. So I want to share as much as I can for young people to know and explore this opportunity.
And you've been talking about leadership. There are leadership courses.
Yeah, there are leadership courses. Yeah.
Even civic leadership separately. There are courses on that. Fantastic. So we know you as this quiet, gentle. What will surprise people to learn about you? What's that thing that if you tell me now, I'm going to be really surprised? Something interesting.
Something interesting. Yes. Yeah, what will surprise them is just, apart from being so quiet, I am not very quiet. I think I'm an observer.
Oh, great.
I'm kind of a person I want to observe and then feel how can I put in something on my thoughts or my idea. But apart from that, I like music.
Oh.
And most of them I like hip-hop.
Oh, tell me about that.
Yeah, I like hip-hop because I like the way they think. Yeah, and the way they keep on their narrative. And most of the time, I get time to listen.
When you say hip-hop, do you mean rap?
The rap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like
That's
the
surprising.
Rap. Yeah.
I thought you like Celine Dion.
No. I just I like all the music, but I like those because I think they are more, if you get time, I don't know if you like them, Rebecca, but if you get time to listen, they have a very good message. Most of the time they think. I like that's critical thinking on the way they write and the way they present.
Wow.
That's what I like. Maybe that's the fun thing of me. And maybe some people, they will not.
No, I would never have thought that.
Yeah, that's what's very fun about it.
So I'm sure people, after listening to this podcast, will be really interested in getting to know more about your work because your methodology of using mastermind groups, I don't think is that common.
It's not very common. I think, it's not very common. I don't know if there's anyone doing it, but I think I've never never heard.
Yeah. So how can people reach you if they want to reach you?
People can reach me, first of all, through LinkedIn, because most of the young people that I get, I use LinkedIn to get a lot of young people, because that's the way. If you get one, I can connect it to another, If I get one person from especially young people, that's the best way. I can also connect. But also our organization is located in Dar es Salaam. We are very far out of town, but then I know soon we'll be in town. We are working at Bunju B in Dar es Salaam. That's where we are. Maybe I'll share. I don't know.
Let's start with your LinkedIn. Give us your name on LinkedIn.
My name is Neema Kiswaga.
Can you spell?
NEEMAKISWAGA.
So NEEMA. Then Kiswaga is KISWAGA.
Yes.
Is that your name also on Facebook?
Yeah, that's the name on Facebook. So, that's the name on Instagram.
Okay.
Even maybe on Twitter, I just at N Kiswaga.
At N Kiswaga.
Yeah, I just cut off the longest part.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was
for
very precious,
hanging out with us at the studio today. It's been so wonderful, hearing your story and your work and your experiences.
Thank you very much.
So
it has been a pleasure.
It's one of my favorite parts of this fellowship is knowing that through the Yali network, I'll have the opportunity to continue to collaborate with people like you, and all of my friends across the continent. There's really true power in this network for all of us. And people listening out there, I would encourage you to join the Yali network at yali.state.gov and be a part of something bigger.
Yes, we can. Sure, we can change the world.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into another Yali Voices podcast. And thanks to Neema for sharing her perspective today. Be sure to come back for more inspiring stories from young African leaders on the Yali Voices podcast. Our theme music is It Go Happen by a fellow Presidential Precinct alumna, Grace Jerry, a 2015 Mandela Washington Fellow. This podcast was recorded in the Potter Studio at James Madison's Montpelier, a partner site of the Presidential Precinct. James Madison was the 4th President of the United States and is known as the father of the U.S. Constitution. Montpelier is now home of the Robert H. Smith Center for the Constitution. The Yali Voices podcast is brought to you by the U.S. Department of State and is part of the Young African Leaders Initiative, which is funded by the U.S. government. Once again, my name is Rebecca Ojedele. Bye.